So the superficiality limitation. Okay, this of course is related to what I showed to you on the first day, the world filled with information and the huge amount of information that we have nowadays. We cannot keep up to this amount of information, to this increase in the information. And of course what we have to do, sometimes we are very superficial, but this is very bad for science. And this is an interesting point of view on what I'm saying. So this book called Mental Obesity by this author, this is a quote from the book. So he said that what's happened with us now is that we are we are consuming a lot of junk information, okay? And we must rethink our intellectual diet. So we start to focus and stop being so superficial about everything. So the general public knowledge has increased, but it's made of banalities. Everyone knows Kennedy was assassinated, but they don't know who was Kennedy. Everyone says that Sistine Chapel has a ceiling, but no one suspects what it's for. Anyone knows what the Sistine Chapel is for? Does anyone? Please speak up. No one, no, not even the Italian. Yes, thank you, Professor João. So it's where the cardinals reunite, gather to elect the Pope. Okay, so you think that ceiling so beautiful? It's just no. That place has a reason. Okay, and nobody knows. And of course, everybody thinks that Saddam is evil and that Mandela is good, but they are not really sure why. Everybody knows Pythagoras has a theorem, but ignore what is a hypotenuse. Okay, so that's what we are talking about. And it could be also recalls the first slide, okay, the first movie. We are saying, oh, that picture, that movie, that Sistine Chapel, that. And again, I'm not saying this is an easy task because we are immersed in lots of information. But on your research and on your writing, the point is, it's useless to write something if you don't know what you're going to talk about. Okay? So if you don't know what you're going to talk about, don't write. Professor João always reminds me that the greatest invention of mankind is paper, because it accepts everything you want to put on it. It will never complain. Okay? But the readers are going to complain, or are simply not going to read you. Okay? But if I may make a little parenthesis, this is so interesting. I was using this code so many times in my classes that okay, I want to read this book. So I tried to find it in online Brazilian libraries and bookshops, and I couldn't find it. I say, okay, maybe it's published only in English. So I went to Amazon.com and couldn't find it either. And I said, oh my God, where? So this guy is supposed to be from Harvard University and from the sociology department. So I went to the Harvard website, and they never heard of him. Okay, so I started to get a little bit worried and start to look on the internet for information on this book. And there's a lot of hits, but it's always the same paragraph. So what happened? Someone created this. It was invented. Okay? So it's one of example, as I told you about the Bob Marley and Abraham Lincoln quote on the first day. So please try to find your sources and see if they are reliable. In this case, I of course am telling you this story now, Because whoever invented this has a point, and it's an important point. Because, so that's why I'm showing it to you. But I kept the original author and the original title just to remember me to tell you that this is a fake. This is an invention. Someone created this thing, okay? So you always, it's never enough to remind you to pay attention to your sources. Okay? So I